Hey everybody, Chuck Barone back at my desk, Tuesday, January the 20th, 2023. I hope everybody enjoyed the extra holiday yesterday, Juneteenth. Hey man, I'll take an extra day off. You know, it's anything that's good for working people, I'm for it. I'll say, it seems like we're going to have a holiday a couple times a month coming up any second now, though. I guess they got to figure out how to find a way to make profit off Juneteenth like they have every other holiday, right? But anyway, welcome back. Welcome to the show. Again, thank you all for your support, watching the videos and being here with us. We appreciate you guys. Okay, so let's get caught up here, guys. Let's talk about these markets. Today, a pretty quiet day. Not a lot of data coming, just some real estate stuff that we'll go over. So the market kind of drifting today a little bit, drifting down. We know tomorrow we'll start the fun. We'll have Chairman Powell, St. Jerome, going to be up on Capitol Hill. He'll be sitting in front of the House nitwits tomorrow. So it's always fun to, it's always quite a spectacle when you have, the Fed chief and these Congress critters together, because they have completely different agendas. Powell's going to want to kind of, I don't know, he's going to have his Fed message, whatever it's going to be, because it's still a mystery to most. And the Congress guys are going to have their own agenda. It's going to be a spectacle. So we're going to have 2 days in a row of that, Wednesday and Thursday. But depending on how they move Powell, if they make him angry, they make him react to something. If he comes out with something he may not want to say, has market moving possibilities. So fascinating stuff coming. But today, not much. Market's quiet. Dow drifting down 245 points. The Dow sitting at 34,053. The S&P down, just small, down 20 points, 4,388 on the S&P. The NASDAQ down 22 today, 13,667 on the NASDAQ. So market's drifting down, but nothing dramatic. And market's looking for some direction. So we'll see how the next couple of days play out. Bonds today, yields falling, bonds rallying a little bit. 10-year down 4 basis points, 3.73% for the 10-year Treasury. The 2-year also down 4 basis points, 4.68% for the 2-year. So the inversion's still pretty wide, guys. Almost, we're sitting at 95 basis points here. I don't know. I think that I would like to see these yields get normal. It seems like the economy is going along pretty decent here. Everybody wants to find something to be negative about, but it just seems like things are going along, man. So I would like to see this rates go normal again. That would help, right? And get real estate back in order, get interest rates at your bank in order, and change a whole bunch of good stuff around. So hopefully we're going to see that, but there's obviously still quite a bit of uncertainty as to where this economy is going. It takes a while for these Fed interest rates to show up in the actual economy. Starting to show up now as things are starting to slow down gradually. We'll see how the economy holds up. We got a lot of data coming between now and the end of the month. Dollar today, not much happening. Dollar up very small, sitting at 102.54 on the index. Not strong, not weak, just kind of hanging around. Was up over 104 just a very short time ago, less than 2 weeks ago. So dollar drifting down, but still in a strong position, strongest currency right now on earth. Metals today, down. For some reason, metals not having a very good day. Gold down $15 today, $1,935.80 for gold. Silver dropped 79 cents, $23.13. I think these little dips like this are a reason to buy more, especially silver, man. I'm thinking silver's looking pretty attractive here. I think that it's the poor man's metals, right? Poor man's precious metal. A lot easier to buy some ounces of silver than it is to buy ounces of gold. Until you buy some silver and make some profit, then you parlay it into gold coins or gold bullion, whatever. I think metals are going to rally. So, hang in there. These dips don't mean very much. Actually, still pretty attractively priced. Silver was above 25. So it's down a little bit from there, but nothing dramatic. And gold was up actually over 2,000 per ounce. It's 1,935. So again, not any, down, but not dramatically down, and with certainly more room to the upside. Oil today down small today, down 84 cents per barrel, sitting at $70.94 for a barrel of West Texas Intermediate. As right in that trough where we've been expecting it to be. It kind of seems like oil's most comfortable trading between 70 and 75. It has been for about a year or so now. It might break out to the upside or the downside briefly, but tends to snap right back into that trough. And that's where it sits and where we expect it to stay. Bitcoin today has a nice rally, up $1,322, 28,114 for Bitcoin. Good number. Rallying back up toward 30,000. It's fascinating what's happened in these crypto markets. Any signs of strength like this are very encouraging because the crypto markets are just getting beat up, man. You got all kinds of fraud. You got the SEC involved, the U.S. government, probably big regulation coming, and all kind of uncertainty. Uncertainty typically is very, very bad for any kind of investment. So Bitcoin and other cryptos holding on, staying in the game, and with pretty nice prices. That makes me a believer. I think Bitcoin, I would not be surprised to see it pop back up above 30,000. I would not be surprised to see it pop back down to 25. So it's, just been a wild ride for Bitcoin. Not exactly, if you're a guy who likes peace in his life, that's not your investment. But for the people who watch this show who do have it, bully for Bitcoin, man, doing good, holding on. All right, so let's talk a little bit about real estate today because that's the little bit of data that we got out. Real estate looking like it's starting to come back. I'm going to eat my words here because I really thought the correction would be pretty much more significant than it has been. Housing starts blasting off, even in the face of horrible, crappy rates right now. Single-family projects skyrocketing in May, up 291,000 units for the biggest jump in more than 3 decades. 1.63 million units this year they're expecting now. So it looks like real estate's on its way back. Even with these higher rates, people got to buy houses, got to have a place to live. I guess people now buying into the idea, it's kind of settled into, well, buy now, even though the rates aren't good and the payment's going to suck and be painful. As soon as rates start to come down, which we anticipate is going to happen any minute, we can refinance you down to a payment that's a little bit more palatable. So it looks like people are buying into this now. Housing permits also jumping pretty nicely, signaling builders now looking like they're feeling pretty strong about where the housing market's going to be going forward. Going to give investors a little bit of confidence because these builders are typically very conservative. They're not going to fling money out there with any kind of uncertainty because they're borrowing money to do things too, guys, right? So it's tough for the buyers of their houses to buy at 6.5. Guess what? They're paying much higher rates to build those houses, right? Then the buyer's going to pay buying those houses because we have an inversion with short-term and long-term stuff, right? So builders being very cautious. So this is a very, very good sign for real estate across the country going forward. Here in Vegas, things really, I gotta say, gonna make a monkey out of me because I really expected the price to come down into the 300s for sure. I was seeing, maybe hoping, praying, maybe we could get down to a $350,000 median. We were coming down from a high of 482,000, very high median. It got down to 415,000, and I was like, okay, we're on our way to normal. Well, now it's turned right back around. Not very much inventory on the market, driving demand, driving competition, pushing prices up. So here in Vegas right now, the median price, now this is this month up to today, sitting at 448,450. That's up from the bottom of 415,000 just a few months ago. So prices are rebounding and rebounding pretty quickly. Now, this comes with a little bit of a caveat. Right now, today is the 20th here, so right now, on June the 20th, there's only been 1,194 closings here in Clark County so far. The bulk of those closings will happen at the end of the month. Typically, that's the big rush in real estate. So this number, this median number, is certainly subject to change up or down a little bit. The supply of houses here in Vegas, which has been the big driver of prices back up, is growing, but it's still very small, guys. There's just not much being offered right now. Right here in Clark County, there's 3,635 single-family residences. It's about a month and a half supply. Realtors always talk about a 12-month supply. Most realtors I've worked with feel like a 6-month supply is a decent market. 1.5 months is a very, very tight market, a seller's market for sure. So what you're going to see now is this competition coming back where, you know, you're going to have people buying houses over appraised value again, just because there's nothing else to buy. It's crazy, right? So 3,635 single families listed right now. A month ago, that number was 3,957. A healthy market would be about 8,000 to 9,000 houses. So inventory slow, and the big reason for that, and this is a reason that's not going to go away. It's not like it's transitory. You know, people, when rates were in the high 2s and in the 3s, people buying houses got those rates. People that owned houses refied down to those rates. So they have very little incentive right now to sell a house, because when you sell one, you have to live somewhere, so typically you're going to go buy another one. Unless you're planning on buying that house for cash, you know you're going to be looking at a rate 6.5% to 7%, significantly higher than the 2s or 3s you have on your note right now. So even if you're downsizing or putting way more money into the property, you're still going to have a payment higher than the one you have with your house now. So people don't want to sell. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy this way, right? It feeds itself where, okay, people don't want to sell, it drives prices higher, rates not coming down and not really presumed to come down anytime soon. So this is going to be a very fascinating thing, because I think these prices are going up, but hard to call that fair market value, because I think you have the weird artificial factor weighing into that price gain, where you have this weird phenomenon of people sitting on low rate mortgages. So very, very, very interesting, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out going down the road, right? So now, as I mentioned earlier, tomorrow, Powell starts his 2 days of testimony. Tomorrow at the House, Thursday up in the Senate. These committees, you know, these politicians have their own agenda. You know, the Democrats are going to beat Powell up, complaining how, you know, he's making money too tight. It's going to cause a recession. He's causing people to lose their jobs. The economy before, you know, blah, 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 blah. They're going to be mad. He's making everything too tight. The Republicans, on the other hand, are going to blast him from the other side. He waited too long. And, you know, interest rates aren't high enough. Inflation's too high. When will inflation be back to normal? He's going to get beat up from right and from left, and every single different angle. And of course, you're going to have your showboats who can't wait to get themselves on camera talking tough, even though 99% of them don't know jack diddly squat about finance, might not even be able to spell it, but now they're going to teach the Fed chair how to do his business. Powell, I got to say, he's not, you know, you don't have to love the guy, but, you know, he's managed to kind of get the Fed in the right direction. You know, they're pulling some liquidity out of circulation. They've been pretty persistent raising rates. There hasn't been any surprises. He's kind of telegraphed every single thing he's done. It's going to be fascinating to see what he does tomorrow and the next day if he kind of tips his hand. I'm betting he doesn't. Especially if he's confronted with some hostility from these guys and from these women from the Congress. I'm going to be looking forward to watching. Of course, we'll be here to bring you guys all the details, the stuff that's newsworthy at least, worthy of you guys hearing. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. Short show. Not much happening, but we'll be back tomorrow to talk about Powell and everything else they report. We know we're going to have jobless. We know we're going to have all kind of data coming later this week. We'll be here to bring it all to you guys. If you like what you're hearing, guys, please hit the like button. It changes the algorithms on YouTube, helps the video get out there in front of more people. We would appreciate that. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments. Of course, your comments are always welcome. We appreciate your support. We'll be back tomorrow to give you guys the news you need. Until then, guys, take care. Thanks.